What's up, guys? This is Jakob. I'm content AI manager and I'm helping entrepreneurs around the world with their content strategy using AI technology to create content for your business on scale. And I'm today here with a very interesting guest. His name is Ankush Bikkasani. He's the founder at Deepword, which is a deepfake software. So we are going to speak about deepfake, Deepword, the software, and what exactly this is. But first of all, thank you, Ankush, that you're here on my show. Very excited to speak about this topic with you today.
Jakob, no, I appreciate you having me on the show. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So before we jump into the topic of deepfake, and I have a lot of questions because I'm also using your software. Can you describe, so who's Ankush and why are you doing the things that you're doing?
For sure, yeah. So my name's Ankush, founder of Deepword. My background's actually in video production. So I freelance a lot of video for companies for around 8 to 10 years. And I noticed how repetitive the process was. Same people talking about the same things, the same locations over and over and over again. And, I began talking to some of my data science friends, essentially, on how we can automate video production. And that was the main goal that we set out to do when we started Deepword. So Deepword is basically a company that allows you to generate videos of people talking using AI. You simply just select or upload a short video of the person that you want talking and the text or the audio that you want them to say. And then within a few minutes, our software generates the video of that person speaking the audio.
Yeah. And you can also upload your own video, so to create your own avatar,
Right.
which I also tested, and which is fascinating and spooky at the same time to some degree because I see myself saying something that I never said before. So this is also the ethical concerns that many people have. But can you first of all describe what exactly is deepfake?
Sure. So by the technical definition, a deepfake is an AI piece of software that swaps one face of somebody from several thousand images of them onto a video of somebody else. And well, that's not exactly what Deepword does. It essentially allows for the same thing. So what Deepword does is it takes the existing actor and it modifies the lip and the jaw movements. But I guess deepfakes, by their technical definition, is just a really high quality face swap.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a very prominent example of this. So how I think 2018 or something, when there was a video of Obama saying about Donald Trump, he's a jerk or he's an idiot or something, where deepfake was a lot of in the media, and many people are to some degree also scared about this. Was this something? So, but my question is more. Okay, what was your main motivation to say, okay, I want to be in this business of deepfake or and to create Deepword?
Honestly, I just have a huge passion for video. To me, in my opinion, it's the ultimate form of art form. The music has to be good. Obviously, the lighting has to be good. The story that you tell has to be really good. And I just love doing challenging things, I guess. And this seems like challenging, but something like where the technology was at the time when we started it was something that we could actually do. And I have lots of hopes for what Deepword will become into. Obviously, quality improvements and more realism down the line. But another thing we take equally as seriously is like the ethical concerns of it. It's true.
Yeah.
With these softwares, you can try and sometimes successfully create pretty malicious content. But ourselves and some of our competitors, Easy as an example, we have pretty extensive content monitoring systems. So usually we have somebody always monitoring the content. We're checking the inputs and the outputs to make sure it's not malicious or anything along those lines. But we actually have developed we have developed and are developing more some pretty cool AI systems to basically monitor the content for the context of what the person is saying to automatically flag videos that might trigger the model.
Okay, but when you say monitoring, does this mean you can see what kind of videos I created on my account, or what exactly does this mean?
Correct, yeah. So at the very least, we do check the audio of the videos being created, just because that's how you convey the meaning for the most part. We do some video monitoring as well, but the majority of the focus and development is on audio. And that was something we initially were going back and forth with when we started Deepword was, do we want to do this? Is this something that users would be happy with? But when you look at like the ethical implications of not doing something like that, it almost seems like a necessity. And that's honestly what us, and that's sort of becoming the industry standard if you want to create a service like this that's actually useful and does its purpose, is not, a tool for evil.
Yeah. Can you maybe describe, so deepfake, the word, the core word comes from deep learning, but can you describe maybe for people who are not very familiar about AI, what is the correlation between AI and also deepfake videos? Can you describe that?
Sure, yeah. So, it would have been nice if I could have brought one of our data scientists on, but I can give you a basic rundown of this. But essentially, what is happening is you are feeding several thousand images to a piece of deepfake software to basically tell it how to learn through neural networks what somebody's face looks like when they're making different shapes with their mouth, when they're speaking, when they're expressing emotions, when they're making even hand gestures for some deepfakes. It's really important. Like honestly, the most difficult part of this whole process has been getting really high quality data for our models, more so than actually creating the models themselves. So if you have really high quality data of several thousand images of people in different speaking circumstances, then the AI through neural networks can basically learn what this person says or what position their face is making essentially at different times in the output video that you're desiring.
Yeah. Okay. Fascinating. Really. I created these videos on Deepword and sent it to other entrepreneurs and friends. They all said, that's spooky, Jakob. That's so spooky. You have to be careful. So there are a lot of concerns by people. So how do you so your client base, how are they using these kind of videos? So I saw a lot of medical backgrounds, so medical also clothes. So is this a thing that hospitals creating these kind of using this tool to create image videos or something?
So the main use for it right now, and I'll touch on the medical stuff a little bit after this, but the main use that we see for Deepword is specifically for sales and marketing campaigns. So I'm sure you receive lots of email solicitations from people trying to personalize the email as best as they can for Yacht. Hi Jakob, you do this fantastic AI podcast. We would love to, and then insert some sort of personalized message that they created by reading about you, right? Those emails are sent in bulk via merge tags, via CRM, and we are essentially enabling the same thing but with video. So you might get a video from someone attempting to sell to you, or somebody that's actually solicited, saying, "Hey Jakob, yada yada yada." Basically, very similar to what the email content was, but in video format. And the advantage of using the video format over the text-based format, obviously, is that the conversion rates are much higher. Somebody's much more likely to click on a personalized video for them as opposed to an email that they receive. And overall, like from our research and from our users' research, like conversion rates are just way higher when people use personalized video than non-personalized text. To touch on the medical thing, that's sort of there for mostly the future. The tough thing with medical, we've actually reached out to a lot of medical companies and telehealth companies to see if they would like to use our software. And the main piece of feedback we get right now is that it's too much liability for the doctors. So for the doctors to, if anything goes wrong in the video creation process, the liability is placed upon the doctors. And for also HIPAA compliant reasons, there needs to be some more legal loopholes that we have to jump through. But that is basically a future development that we have on Deepword already.
Okay, so yeah, what I'm getting from that is so mostly using this as a way to personalize video content
Yes.
and to reach to improve the open rate and give this feeling to the people. Okay, this is a video produced only for you, and instead of doing 100 videos a day, I do it with this kind of technology. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, as it stands, it may make sense for a sales and marketing agency to record personalized videos one by one if the item that they're selling is like $1,000+, right? Because then you're gonna really try and personalize as much as you can for that person. But for stuff that's a piece of software or a good or service that is much less, it doesn't make sense to do. You can't utilize this personalization at scale that essentially we're trying to enable with Deepword.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that's awesome. Really love it. So I checked also the roadmap of Deepword. So when you look at the videos, they are very front. So things like moving the head pretty hard, or also the hands.
Mhm.
These are things. So what is so? Yeah, forget what I said. What's the vision that you're painting for the coming years for Deepword?
So the main things that we are working on for the coming months, and hopefully these will be ready towards the end of this year at the latest, but
Cool.
obviously long term as well. First and foremost, we are working to improve the resolution output of the video. It's pretty good right now, but obviously it can still be better. The number one thing that users are actually requesting for are, at least technically speaking, aside from the resolution increase, are basically programmable hand gestures. So if this was a deeper video of me talking to you, the user could indicate in the software when they wanted me to make a gesture like this or to something on the screen. And then the second thing that people are really asking for are programmable facial expressions. So to appear excited when you're talking about something, or if you're talking about a competitor, maybe you're like sad, for example.
Yeah. More emotions.
Yes, more emotions, more emotions.
Yeah.
And those things are ultimately what make, I mean, it makes sense that a lot of people are requesting this because those things are ultimately what make a video more realistic. On top of that, we are also hoping to add voice cloning very soon. So the ability to record about 30, 40 minutes of your audio and just be able to generate as much video as you want just using text with that voice model. Reaching out to a few companies and developing some stuff internally as well for that. So really excited about that. If you want, I can talk more about like the long-term, I guess, vision for Deepword as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, long term, we want to be like the go-to piece of software for personalization at scale. Obviously, right now we have our main video product, but we want to extend that out into obviously voice products and even like some data products as well that can help people personalize better to an individual based on any data that they're feeding into the models that we're training.
Yeah. And how big is your team? So, I mean, when I researched, I couldn't find. So, is your team remote? Is it all in the US or all over the world? How is it structured?
So most of us are actually in Indianapolis, Indiana, or rather in Indiana. In Indiana, we have about 14 members, and then we have one or two developers that help us full-time overseas. But the core team, all the data scientists and several of our front engineers are just here in Indianapolis. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. When it comes to, so we talked a little bit about the concerns that people have. What is, in your opinion, one big misconception people have in their mind when it comes to AI or deepfake in special that you would love to tackle or love to speak about?
Yeah, so early deepfake software has done an incredible job of marketing itself as like a very malicious tool. And we are essentially seeking to change that public perception. It doesn't have to be for bad. In fact, there's a lot more use cases for like productive things that you can do with this than non-productive things that you can do with this. As long as you have like a very good content monitoring system, and even in the future, like a video verification system to verify this is actually a genuine video versus a deepfake video, that is ultimately what we are trying to do on the ethical side of things. It's like be 100% certain that this person meant to make this video, or this person is actually speaking this.
Yeah. And do you? Yeah, sorry.
No, that's it.
And do you? So one thing that always comes up when I speak with founders of AI companies are legal issues. So, for example, in the text production with GPT-3, so there are some from time to time these discussions about. So it should be if somebody is producing text with GPT-3, it should be recognized as AI produced or something. Do you know any discussions about deepfake, so that in the future there must be some kind of label or something that people recognize? Okay, this is AI produced video. That's a deepfake video or something.
Yeah, so that's a question I personally have a lot of talks with people about, is some sort of verification system to let the user know that people go back and forth, honestly. Like people talk about either a system of letting a person know that this is deepfake, or at least letting the person know that this is like valid, non-malicious information being spread to you. We will, obviously integrate whatever the market requires from us, whatever the market asks from us. In fact, we're working on a verification that basically reads the metadata of the video to verify or not the video is real or not, or if it's been edited or modified in any way. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky because I think it begs the obvious question, like, if somebody knows that a video is a deepfake, especially in our case, in our marketing and sales case, like we want these videos to be as realistic as possible. We want the person to feel like the company maybe took time to make this video for them, when in reality they took maybe like 30 seconds per person importing the data. So yeah, it's tricky. We will obviously comply with whatever is required of us, and we hope to lead the industry in that. But those are basically the two positions that I've heard and I've talked to people about as far as like a future verification system for deepfake content or synthetic video in general.
Okay. So do you use Deepword yourself? So are you recording yourself and producing deepfake videos? Just curious.
Yeah, we do a little bit for like our own sales and marketing outreach. Sometimes it's with me, sometimes it's with one of our video actors. We're always trying and testing new things. And we've also been experimenting, I talked about this earlier, but with some upcoming voice cloning with myself and some of the other members that are on our team. So yeah, definitely. We use the software. It is a must-have, I guess, in our marketing and tech stack at this point.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned voice several times. What you mean is that so this is the function that you have on Deepword, right? So that I record a voice, like I would send through Telegram or WhatsApp, and I upload it, and my digital avatar that I choose, or myself, is saying the word. So there's a synchronization between the video and the audio that I uploaded. This is what you mean, right?
Yes. Okay. Either that, or I think I mentioned it before, the voice cloning, where if I wanted to clone my voice, for example, I would record 30, 40 minutes of audio, train a model on that, and then basically use text-to-speech to call generated audio from the model.
Okay. So I can train it also, so that my
not
voice.
Yet, but we are testing and experimenting with that. We hope to have that relatively soon.
Okay, that's really cool, because I used a tool called Descript, which is more audio, and you can basically train Descript with your own voice, and then you're just writing, and then Descript is creating a podcast episode with your voice basically, and you're doing the same, but adding video on it, which is cool.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, you're correct.
That's awesome.
Thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, it's I guess I can go into, I don't know, you let me know if this is okay, but I can talk about like the struggles of voice cloning and why it's so hard for, a lot of companies to create it. But just quickly, like a lot of voice cloning platforms are built on an open source platform developed by Google called Tacotron 2. I'm fairly sure these scripts resemble, everybody uses that as a base. The problem with Tacotron 2, for example, is that, and the reason why we don't have voice cloning yet, is that in order to train a high quality voice, you need to record 15 to 20 hours of data and segment all that data to train the model. And that's just not realistic to expect the average user to do. So what we're doing, what other companies are doing, are finding ways to very accurately clone a voice with only 30 to 40 minutes of audio data using transfer learning.
Okay. Yeah, it's another approach, right? So okay.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, yeah. I'm just excited about this idea that I just can use the voice and then I can produce all these videos. That's awesome. I mean, no doubt it's cool to be live and be in front of the camera, but if you can do it additionally, so if I could spend 1 or 2 hours a week with Deepword and produce 2-hour video material, why not? So I think I don't know about the niche, so about the client. You mentioned marketing and sales, but in which niche are your clients? So is this more selling software or technology, or is there a special vertical that you work with when it comes to client base?
I guess the general vertical that we currently and in the past have gotten the most traction with are, especially since the release of our API and our campaigns feature, where you can really just upload a bunch of contact data in bulk, is like sales agencies that represent. So basically, what these sales agencies do is they represent other companies. They run their sales and marketing campaigns for them, and they use our software to represent those companies to send out hundreds or thousands of basically personalized videos via email or LinkedIn or any way that you distribute content via CRM. And that's honestly where we've seen the most traction and the most success, at least as of recently. Obviously, the other thing that we see a lot of success and traction with, and this is our focus, but it's not our primary focus, is for like educational and training based content. So if you like want to train an employee or somebody online, if you send them like a giant wall of text, the chances that they even read through all of that, let alone retain that information, is way lower than if you generate a video, at least with the main points, and send that to them along with it. And that seems to be basically people that are creating non-personalized stuff and things that are not at scale, one-off videos. That's where we're also seeing a lot of success as well.
Yeah, makes sense. So you mentioned OpenAI. So when it comes to text production, one thing that is always mentioned is GPT-3, this OpenAI model. So is there something similar or in the same direction for video? So that you mentioned another OpenAI of Google. Is this something that you could compare with GPT-3?
Not exactly. GPT-3 is a little bit different. GPT-3 is like a pretty general program. Like obviously it does a lot of things very well, but like if you needed to do like a very specific commercial task, you would have to build on top of it. I mean, yes and no. Like what we're developing is it won't be using GPT-3. We're ideally looking to develop it entirely on our own, but it should be just like a very hyper specialized version of some sort of text-based algorithm that can produce content specific to the niches that you're targeting in your videos, or we see some people basically converting blogs, like written blogs to video using Deepword and stuff like that. I think that would be a useful niche as well. I mean, it all depends on like actually user data from and shifting the model for this towards
Yeah. Okay, got it. And what trends do you see in the deepfake space? So what are things? So you mentioned your vision, your goals, but what big trends do you see for the coming 2-3 years, maybe mid long term?
Yeah. So the video quality is getting good. Like our video quality is pretty good. Synthesia's is good. Other companies, they're producing good video. Obviously, the improvements on top of that are going to be noticeable, but I think you're going to start seeing a lot more change in how well personalized like these videos can be. Um, Lots of people are developing lots of algorithms, like I talked about, or models themselves to almost like web scrape of somebody that you're targeting or a company that you're targeting, and to and you can show this to your viewers. I actually use a piece of AI tech that we use it in our own outreach. That basically I'll paste in their LinkedIn profile and maybe a few other things about them, like the company website, and it'll generate one or two sentences that are like really good that personalize this individual, and it's really impressive how they do this. Um, and we, and other people that I've talked to, even competitors that I've talked to, like that seems to be, at least on the personalization side of things, is how can we not only allow the user to personalize, but actually offer tools that really, like it makes the personalization way more useful.
Yeah, yeah. So the personalization, the hyper personalization, so with
Yes.
AI.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so far. So when it comes to your first memory with AI, what was this? Was it a movie, or what was your first memory when it comes to AI?
So I'm 23 years old, so I started using the internet around like 2004, 2005. And I remember I was initially very, I guess this is, I'll touch on some internet things that really blew my mind at the time, but on long road trips, we had this, and maybe you have it in Europe as well, the little game called 20 Questions, where you basically think of it a thing and it'll ask you 20 questions. And it is incredible how, I mean, at least for the mind of a kid at the time, it's incredible how well it's guessing all these things. I guess it's a very rudimentary AI, probably no neural networks at all. But that honestly was, that really sparked my interest in things around AI, like predictive things. I thought that was like fascinating as a kid. Obviously, as I got older, I thought like the predictive qualities of like video-based algorithms in YouTube or on Facebook or any other large social media were really impressive. I think TikTok is it's incredible how well
Yes.
they can show you a piece of content that is like almost guaranteed to make you stay at least until the next video, or for
Yes.
much longer. And yeah, I guess that is where a lot of my interest lies and some of my earliest memories of it.
Yeah. How old are you? Did you say?
I'm actually 23 years old.
Okay. Wow. Impressive. Cool.
Appreciate
So when I speak always with founders and CEOs, one big issue is, and I also made a survey about this. So when it comes to content creation, so one big issue is time. So time issue. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to create the video or the blog article, whatever it is. And I always say, well, if you don't have the time, AI tools are perfect because they help
Yes,
you to leverage your time.
yes.
And do you have, I mean, yes, you're using Deepword, but other than that, do you use other AI tools that help you schedule your day or to get things done? Doesn't have to be only content, but can also be other things. Do you have other tools?
Yeah. Obviously, there was the personalized sentence or two website that I use. I'm blanking on it, but I can tell you later. Um, but I know that our team uses a lot of AI like based monitoring tools for server upkeep and stuff like that. We're made mostly through AWS, but we integrate with some other third-party things that help us really stay on top of keeping servers up, making sure servers are processing things. And honestly, it wouldn't be possible without like a lot of those AI predictive tools. Like if it sees that server load is trending upwards, like it's going to give us a warning. and we can open up some more servers or something along those lines, just to make sure that like the website doesn't explode. Yeah, I mean, I guess not too many besides that, which maybe is a surprise. But if you have any, they're fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for that one. And yeah, is there? I'm always also curious about other people that I could speak with. So, do you know other people within the AI niche who could be a good fit for this kind of show to be interviewed?
I do. I do have one friend. I'll have to ask him, but his name is Hunter, his first name. But he does some really cool stuff with basketball. So they are a basketball stats company, and some of the things that they are working on right now is the ability to use AI essentially to track players, track any stat that you would basically see in basketball, track like the actual, I don't know, just any stat you would see in basketball. It's really impressive what they're doing. But I think that that would be a really cool guest just to see like what computer vision is really doing right now, especially in like the sports and the entertainment side of things.
Yeah, sounds cool. So they are also analyzing the behaviors and things like that, and also giving predictions. Yeah.
I think they're working on that. I think their focus right now is basically feeding a lot of data to models that they're developing to basically almost be predictive with the stats. But they're actually doing really well. I think he would be a really cool guest to do. They, process like several hundred games a week, and they're doing some really cool stuff. I talked to him a lot about AI development and stuff like that, computer vision. I think it would be a good guest to have on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely have to check it. So I played also basketball for a time in the school, but yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, I also played basketball, but
very cool.
Back in my school times, but yeah, not really professional. But
at
least I understand where he's using the vocabulary of
and they're looking into doing stuff in hockey as well. Basically like team-based field sports is where they're. Sorry, but yeah, that's I would recommend him. I think he would be happy to come on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's great. Thanks for your time, Ankush. Is there something that you want to add? So where can people find more information if they want to check out Deepword, which they should, in my opinion. I'm also using it. It's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. I guess check out our website, deepword.co, not .com.co. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn if you want to talk about anything. We'd be more than happy to chat. Jakob, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Just stay in line.
Sure.
And for all the listeners, thanks for your time and for listening. And also, if there are any questions, just let me know. I also did 1 or 2 live sessions where I just showed Deepword also, how the tool works and how I created video material. And yeah, there were, I think that a lot of people are interested in, but they are to some degree scared, or they don't know how to use it, or they think, well, it's strange, or things like that. And I think there must be, so that's the reason why I make this show, just to be aware of these topics and speak more about them. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Anyone watching, Jakob included, if you guys want some paid features, just reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to give you some paid features to test out everything.
Awesome. Thanks, Ankush. Appreciate your time, and hope we'll see you soon again.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody that listened. Yeah, appreciate it. It's a great podcast.